Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. So in this video we are gonna see, what if Naruto was son of dragon eggs. This is part 1, and if you want more then please leave a like, share and subscribe. Let's get in the video. They slowly made their way cautiously through the forest, on guard in the creepy forest. Their horses were skittish for no reason, further spooking the. An elfin princess sat hunched over 2 large stones, cradling them. Suddenly, out of the surrounding forest, a blast of magic sails over Arya, killing the rider next to her. A man shouts, "Arya, get out of here, you must protect the 2 eggs." Heeding the mont's words, Arya fled into the darkness. As she ran she sensed her pursuers close behind. Not knowing what to do, she begins chanting in the ancient language. Her pursuers close the gap, and as they are about to grab her there is a flash and the stones disappear. Far away, a flash appears before a boy as he stalks his prey, scaring away his prey and leaving behind a large blue stone that changed the future of the land. In a land far, far away, an orange-clad boy runs energetically through the Konoha forests, pursued by villagers with pupilless eyes. As Naruto ran he was laughing crazily as he congratulated himself on his best prank to date. T-ping the Hyuga compound, Naruto ran and ran until eventually he lost his pursuers. Stopping to catch his breath in the clearing he found himself, his busy mind started to wonder. Why do they give me such cold looks? I know I've not been the best behaved child, but most people just look at me coldly with a look of fear, as if I had something evil inside of me. The thought process that might have led the boy to realizing his fate and changing it was interrupted by a flash of light and a rather large stone smashing into the boy's head. Naruto gingerly rubbed his head as he considered the offending object. It was a large egg-shaped stone that, when next to the 6-year-old boy, reached his knees. It was the green of the forest with silver tracings throughout it. Well, it hit me, so therefore it's mine. He as Naruto's hand made contact with the egg, a green flash enveloped the surrounding forest. Naruto dismissed the flash and picked up the stone. I am so telling the old man about this one. He bounded off, not noticing the trees that were rapidly growing and flowers sprouting and the animals that were looking on in a sort of reverence. Naruto made his way through the streets of Konoha, dodging stray feet and jumping where needed. For one not trained in any way, Naruto had a surprising amount of balance and skill on his feet. Had anyone taken time to look past the burden Naruto carried, they would see much potential in the young 6-year-old. Naruto quickly made his way towards the Hokage Tower. When he arrived he ran past the guards shouting a warm greeting. Leaving behind the 2 stunned guards, the one turned to the other. That boy is a bundle of energy. If he could harness that, who knows what he could do. Anyway, he brings a smile to my face. The other guard turned to his partner, a look of anger on his face. That boy is a brat and a demon. If he made use of that energy it would be to destroy us. Akaku, you are such a demon lover. At this the guard spat, leaving a stunned Akaku. That poor child. Don't worry Naruto, I'll root for you. Akaku smiled at his personal declaration. Naruto made his way towards the Hokage, oblivious of the opinions people had of him, not knowing that there were some who saw him as just a kid with a burden. HEYOLDMANGUESSWHATHAPPENEDTOME, Naruto shouted. Ha ha. Slow down Naruto. Tell me about it. Sarutobi smiled at the little boy who gave him so much joy and so much worry. Well, I was running away from those weirdos with the strange eyes. When I lost them I stopped in the forest and there was this giant flash of light and I was like, woo-ah. At this point Naruto waved his hands around in a crazy manner, dropping the stone on the floor. Then this stone hit me. He looked at his hands, saw emptiness and started frantically looking around. Arg, where'd it go? Arg, stupid Naruto. The Sandaime smiled at the boys and picked up the stone. As he did so he felt a massive spike from within the stone. Perplexed he analyzed the stone as Naruto frantically searched through the room. Naruto, is this what you were looking for? Yes it is. Oh thanks old man, you the best. What do you think of my rock? The Sandaime laughed at the poor boy's naivety. Naruto, this isn't a stone, it's an egg. Follow me. Let's go for a walk. They went out to the nearby fields. Naruto along the way talking all the time. So like, what's in it? Is it like a giant chicken or maybe a fishman? Oh no, what if it's another one of those pupilless weirdos, cause I am sure they're not human. The Sandaime laughed at the boy's vivid imagination. He sat in the middle of the field in the grass and motioned for the little boy to do likewise. Naruto, I don't know what's in here, so I am going to take this and keep it safe, okay? As he said this a flash of sadness flashed through the boy's features. The Sandaime saw this and made a choice then and there. I don't want to see my little boy. Wow, am I really that attached to him? Well, no matter what, I'll keep you smiling and I will protect you. That's what I normally do, Naruto. But I trust you, so I am going to let you keep it. But you are going to have to call me when it starts hatching. Naruto smiled, excitement returning to his features. Wait a minute. Old man, how am I supposed to call you? It will take too long to run all the way to your place. Sarutobi thought about this. Suddenly he smiled. Tell you what, Naruto. I am gonna teach you something. See this. Sarutobi removed a necklace from around his neck. It was a clear gem held in place by intricate silver. This is a present to you. This necklace was made by a very powerful seal master, the Yondaime, and he made it to hold chakra. But I am gonna use a jutsu that will allow you to talk to me whenever with it, even if we are far apart. Sugoi. Thank you so much. The little boy threw his arms around Sarutobi's neck. How do I use it? Well, you think of me and then just think what you want to say. Also Naruto, you can store chakra in it. Do you know how to use chakra? The boy quickly shook his head. Okay Naruto, stop and feel inside yourself. Look for a feeling of power. Sometimes it helps to think of those you care about. When you can feel that, concentrate on it and imagine pulling it out. It's hard at first, but after a while you get used to it. Try it now. Naruto stood up, spread his legs and closed his eyes. He stood still, a look of constipation on his face. Stay calm Naruto, if you try force it. It won't work. Naruto's face calmed and suddenly a massive explosion of chakra engulfed the boy. Energy flew out of the boy, blowing Sarutobi backwards. Naruto. Imagine the power flowing into the necklace. The mass of chakra suddenly flowed into the necklace. Naruto, stop. Don't pull out any more. Naruto slowly opened his eyes, a feeling of fatigue overtaking him. Don't pull out too much Naruto, or else you could die. But how, old man? It all just gushes out, it's difficult to stop it. The Sandaime looked at the boy. Naruto. I've got 2 things you must do for me. Number 1. Every night put a little chakra in there. Secondly, I want you to do some training. He plucked a blade of grass and placed it on Naruto's head. Now concentrate on only a little chakra coming out of your head. Enough to make it float. Naruto did as he was asked and the piece flew of his head. That's a good start Naruto. Do that every day until it floats perfectly on your head. If you can get it right, come visit me and I'll teach you some more. Now you must go home Naruto, keep your present and egg safe. Okay. Thanks old man. See you soon. Don't worry, I'll tell you if the egg hatches. Naruto picked up the egg. As he did so, the egg pulsed and a green glow surrounded it. The Sandaime noticed it and Naruto didn't. Naruto was obviously picked to have that egg. It only pulses when he holds it. Finally things are looking up for the little rascal. Naruto ran off, leaving behind a smiling old man. You can come out. A man appeared before the Hokage. That little boy is so full of surprises. He will be very strong with training. The Sandaime looked at the man. Yes, Naruto is surprising. Can I ask that you keep watch over him? When you are around, are you ever going to return to service as a ninja? The man looked the Hokage up and down. I will watch the child, more because he interests me. About returning to duty, I'll see. And with that the man disappeared in a flash. The sun rises over the village of Konoha, breathing life into the quiet ville. Damn it. Why won't it float? Following this outbreak, many a curse was flung towards the rundown apartment that was Naruto's. The young boy was currently in bed, a piece of paper on his head, trying to focus his chakra. This time I'll get it. Naruto closed his eyes, concentrated, and suddenly chakra gathered on his forehead. Slowly the chakra enveloped the paper and promptly incinerated it. Arg. Maybe I could make something bigger float. His eyes glanced round the room and came to rest on the egg lying next to him. Picking it up, Naruto balanced it on his head and began to concentrate. As his chakra enveloped and lifted the egg, it flashed green and shook. Naruto got so excited that he lost control and the egg promptly smashed into his head. Oh my gosh, maybe it's hatching. Naruto stared intently at the egg. An hour passed, then 2. Suddenly Naruto's eyes glinted and a chisel and hammer appeared in his hand. Naruto delicately placed the chisel, raised his arm, aimed and missed, smashing his leg. Naruto then proceeded to hop around the room screaming blue murder. Once Naruto had calmed down, he decided to try out the necklace and contact the old man. Hey old man, can you hear me? Does this even work? On the other side of the village, an old man painting a delicate kanji suddenly twitched, destroying an hour's work. Naruto. You little boss, sorry about that, you just merely destroyed my first draft of poetry that I spent the last 3 hours doing. Naruto smiled sheepishly. Not that the Sandaime knew that. Sorry old man. Can I come visit? I am kinda bored. The Sandaime, despite what had just occurred, smiled. I don't see why not, but only for a little while. Why don't we meet outside the Hokage tower? Excited, the little boy rushed off, grabbing the egg on his way out. Weaving in and out of the crowds, Naruto quickly navigated his way to the Hokage tower where the Sandaime waited. Hey old man, thanks for letting me come. What we are going to do? The Sandaime smiled and replied, we are going shopping. You need some clothes and a bag for your egg. And so off they went. The Sandaime bought Naruto a new set of clothes. A forest green shirt with a spiral on the back, and a few shorts. He also got the boy a new set of ninja sandals. Finally they found a bag big enough for the egg that still had enough space. It was merely a plain rucksack. Naruto used some of his old clothing as padding to keep the eggs safe. Once they finished shopping, they returned to the tower. I am sorry, Naruto, but I must go. Duty calls. Here's some money, go get something nice to eat. At this, the Sandame entered the tower, leaving behind a smiling Naruto. Where should I go? If only someone knew of a nice place to eat. At that moment, Akaku came out of the tower. Oh, hello, Naruto, how are you this morning? Surprised Naruto turned to see a smiling man. The man was 6'1" and had black hair and kind eyes. Beg my pardon. Sorry, I haven't introduced myself. My name's Akaku and I work for the Sandame. Naruto looked up at the kind man and smiled. Hey, mister, thanks for saying hi. Do you know of a nice place I can eat? Akaku laughed. Tell you what, I'll take you to the best place in town. Naruto and Akaku made their way to the best restaurant ever, Cooler Ramen Store. I've never had ramen before, is it good, mister? The man gestured for Naruto to enter. Hey dad. Hey Ayame-chan, I brought a guest. Can you please treat him to a meal? Naruto ate bowl after bowl of what he would come to call God's food. Finally, after eating 10 bowls, he stopped. Wow, that's the best stuff ever. I'm gonna come harifan everikan thanks Mr. Butagoto go train, and with that Naruto sped off, leaving behind a large wad of money. The ramen chef looked at his son and said, my boy, we have found the jackpot. That kid is my retirement. Akaku laughed and left his dad's ramen stand. And so the sun set on Konoha. Peace returning after the hustle and bustle of the day. Quiet flowed over the beautiful ville. Why won't you just float? Naruto woke up with a sense of determination. Today feels like it's going to be an awesome day. Naruto shuffled to the shower. He had been living on his own since he turned 6. He was 6.5, enthusiastic and not at all self-sufficient. If the Sandame didn't get Naruto's groceries delivered, Naruto would have starved. As Naruto finished his shower, he dressed in the clothes the Sandame had bought for him. Naruto entered the kitchen and pulled out a box of muesli and poured himself a generous helping. What should I do today? Maybe I can go to the field and do some training. And so Naruto locked up, shouldered his bag and set off in a run to get to the field. Naruto ran and dodged and made his way, never once stopping or traveling at a sedate pace. As Naruto ran, he misjudged a step and was about to fall on his face when suddenly a hand caught him midair. Oh, thank you, missed. Oh, hey there, Akaku-san. Thanks for catching me. Akaku smiled at the boy's embarrassed look. Don't worry about it, Naruto. If I am around, I'll be sure to catch you. Now you best run along. I've got to get to work. Naruto ran off, a smile on his face. That boy sure is a handful. I just wish I could look after him more, but I don't have the time. At the field, Naruto flopped down, tired and content. That had been the first time anyone, other than the old man, had helped Naruto. Naruto dozed off. Woof woof, loud high-pitched barking woke Naruto up. Come back here, Akamaru. I can't run as fast as you. At the sound of voices, Naruto jumped up only to be knocked down by a cute puppy dog. The little dog started licking Naruto's face, causing him to laugh and giggle. Hey, there you were, Akamaru. Sorry about that. He's a handful. Naruto just smiled and looked at the speaker. He was a boy Naruto's age. He had brown unruly hair and red fang marks on his cheeks. He was wearing a brown rough t-shirt and shorts. Wow, your dog's so cool. When did you get him? Oh, sorry, my name's Naruto. The boy gave a large smile and Naruto noticed the boy's large canines. My name's Kiba and that's my new friend Akamaru. My mom just gave him to me. Naruto smiled a large smile. Hey, wanna play? Kiba nodded and the two boys started running round the field playing with Akamaru. 2 hours later. Wow. Phew, I am beat. Damn, Naruto, you got a large amount of energy. Tell you what, can we meet every now and then here to play? Naruto nodded enthusiastically. Will you be my friend, Kiba? Kiba just laughed. Naruto, I think you'll be an awesome friend. Tell you what. Why don't you come to my house for lunch? The two set off towards Kiba's house. Hey, guess what, old man? I made a new friend and he has invited me to his house. Talk later, old man. In the Hokage Tower, the Sandame stiffened. Oh no, this isn't good. What if Kiba's parents are against Naruto? The Sandame quickly shunshined to the Inuzuka compound. As he entered the compound, he was greeted by the sight of Naruto, Kiba and Kiba's family all happily seated around the table eating happily. Hey, old man. I didn't expect to see you here. This is my new friend Kiba. The Sandame immediately relaxed. Naruto was not in danger. Kiba's mom beckoned the Hokage over to the side. Hokage-sama, is everything okay? The Hokage smiled. Yes, all is fine. Sorry for my lack of trust, but when I heard that Naruto was coming here, I panicked. Kiba's mom looked confused. Why would you panic? The Sandame took a deep breath. I don't know if you know, but Naruto is disliked widely because of his burden, and I feared you would be of like mind. At the Sandame's words, Kiba's mom looked hurt. Hokage-sama, I don't know what is wrong with the rest of this village's minds. That boy is the real one who protects us from Kyuubi. He's the hero. We are not the only clan to think that. I know the Aburame and Akamichi clans share our view. The Naris are also of like mind. The Sandame smiled a genuine smile. He had not realized there were clans that believed in Naruto. Thank you. That is a large weight of my shoulders. May I join you? And so the Sandame joined the group eating. After the meal, Kiba took Naruto to see all the animals the clan was helping heal. The Inuzuka clan acted as the village's vet. Kiba, come here now. Kiba ran to get to his mom for fear of punishment, Naruto following him. As they entered the foyer, they saw a large man. He wore a heavy coat and sunglasses. His hairstyle could only be described as a white mon's afro. Behind him a boy of Naruto's age stood. He wore a similar style coat to his father, Kiba. This is the head of the Aburame clan and his son Shino. Come with us, we are going to take a look at that insect colony. You can come to Naruto, Hokage-sama. The group quickly went on their way as they walked. Naruto introduced Kiba and himself to the young boy. Hey there, Shino wasn't it? My name's Naruto and this is Kiba. Wanna be our friend? The boy looked at them, surprise clearly on his face. Are you sure? I would love to be your friend, but most people are freaked out by our clan because of the bugs. At the word bugs, Naruto's face lit up. Cool, so your clan uses bugs, that's awesome. And Kiba's uses dogs. Wow, we all have partners. Kiba and Shino looked at Naruto quizzically. What is your partner, Naruto? Naruto reached into his bag and pulled out the egg. I don't know what's in it, but when it hatches it'll be my friend. And we'll be partners. At Naruto's declaration, the egg emitted a glow and started shaking and cracks started running through the egg. The adults turned round and were astounded at what they saw. Naruto holding a glowing egg that was hatching. The Hokage turned to the Inuzuka matriarch. Is there somewhere we can go to observe the eggs hatching? If you don't mind, you can join us if Naruto doesn't mind. Naruto quickly glanced at the Hokage. I don't mind. Can we find somewhere better though? So the group quickly made their way to the open field behind the house. All the while the cracks spread and the glow grew. Finally Naruto sat down in the middle of the field. The glow extended, covering Naruto and the egg, hiding them from view. There was a loud crack and the glow flashed into a blinding white light before fading. Finally, when the light completely faded, they saw Naruto sitting in front of an animal. It's a dragon. My pet's a dragon. Woohoo. Naruto stared in fascination at the animal that sat before him. It was a dragon, that much was for sure. The baby dragon was forest green overall with a light green underbelly and brown streaks. One could tell it would camouflage well in the forests. It had small wings and a few stubs where one would assume spikes would grow from. The dragon had a set of horns that were bent slightly forward. It had plain brown and rather dull eyes. The dragon made a cute mewling sort of sound. Naruto reached out to touch the dragon cub. As Naruto's hand made contact with the dragon's nose, a green glow expanded from their point of contact. As the onlookers watched, the dragon's eyes changed color until they matched the deep cerulean of Naruto's. Chakra from Naruto and the dragon started to merge, however, as the green and blue were melding. Red malicious chakra started to flow out of Naruto. The red chakra touched the green. Naruto screamed. Tears ran down the dragon's cheek and suddenly the red chakra streamed out of Naruto, forming a ball above him. The chakra ball grew and grew as all Kyuubi's chakra was purified from Naruto's body. As the red chakra left Naruto, his whiskers started to disappear and his eyes grew a deeper, purer blue. The green chakra then shepherded the red chakra into the necklace around Naruto's neck. All the while Naruto screamed. Finally, after 20 minutes, the red chakra went all into the necklace. Abruptly Naruto started to laugh as once again the green and blue chakra mixed and receded back into Naruto and the dragon. Once all the chakra had dissipated, Naruto fainted and the dragon cub looked towards the onlookers, its cerulean eyes piercing all who looked. It then rolled up next to Naruto. The Sandame ran towards Naruto and his new partner, scooped them into his arms and shouted to the onlookers, "Meet me at my private estate, we need to talk about what just happened." And with saying that he shined away, the remaining people picked up their children and made their way to the Hokage private estate. Meanwhile, in Naruto's mindscape, Naruto found himself sitting in a sewer in front of a large gate. On the gate there was a kanji for sealed. As he looked, a green light washed over the gate and it started to shrink. The gates and sewer all receded until all that was left was a small pedestal with a red marble ball on top of it. The ball was covered in the kanji for sealed. What just happened? Naruto queried out loud. That was me purifying your body of the evil presence and sealing it into that necklace. I can't let the spirit that is intertwined with mine be impure, replied a female voice. Naruto jumped and turned around. Sitting just in front of him was his baby dragon. It looked at him contently. So let me get this straight. There was like something bad and nasty in me and you put it in my necklace, and we are now partners. The dragon nodded. Yes, that sums it up. Now what are we gonna do about this place? It's a little dreary. Naruto looked around and realized he was standing in what seemed to be a plain white room with the pedestal in the corner. Where are you and what would you like? The dragon rolled on the floor and did what could only be seen as a dragon's form of a laugh. Naruto. This is your mind and we can do whatever we want, but I would like it to be a forest. To change it, just concentrate on what you'd like it to be. Naruto squeezed his eyes shut and suddenly the room began changing. The walls fell away and in their place trees grew. The floor became lush green grass and a pool materialized to one side. However, the pedestal with its ominous red glow ruined the perfect glade. Let me fix that, Naruto, the dragon said. A large tree suddenly grew around the pedestal, and when it stopped, the large tree, with slightly red-stained leaves, covered the pedestal. Naruto looked to the dragon cub. Now what? The dragon just smiled. Now it's time for you to wake up, partner of my heart. Naruto closed his eyes. When he opened them, he found himself in the arms of the Hokage being carried into a house. Ji-sama, where am I? Naruto looked around and saw himself being taken to a bedroom. He was placed into the bed. Only once he was comfortable did the old man say anything. It's okay, Naruto. How are you? We are in my house. Naruto looked around and his eyes fell on his new best friend and partner. A little cute female baby dragon. I am okay, thanks, Oji-san. Can I ask you something? The Sandaime looked down on the little boy, love and concern on his face. Of course you can, Naruto. Oji-san, was there something evil in me? The Sandaime looked shocked. Naruto, I didn't want to tell you this, but when you were born, Kyuubi was attacking the village and our hero the Yondaime sealed the Kyuubi into a baby, and that baby was you. The Sandaime flinched, expecting to have Naruto break down. So that means the Kyuubi is now in my necklace. This statement was not what the Sandaime expected. What do you mean, Naruto? Naruto looked up, a giant smile on his face. My friend said she purified me and sealed the evil into my necklace. Does that mean that the Kyuubi isn't in me and people will like me now? The Sandaime chuckled. Maybe, just maybe, that could be true, my little Naruto. I will announce it if you'll let me, and we will hopefully free you of your stigma. Out loud he said. Naruto, I think you are right, and with your permission I'll announce it to the village tomorrow. Now if you are not too tired, you have two worried kids your age sitting outside. Can I invite them in? Naruto just nodded eagerly. The Sandaime smiled. I need to go and talk to your friend's parents, so have fun, Naruto, and see you later. The Sandaime left the room and in his place two very nervous kids walked in. Shino looked up and said, Naruto, are you okay? We were worried about you. The boy looked as if had been crying, as did Kiba. Naruto smiled at his friend's concern. I am fine, guys, and come meet my friend. The boys inched closer when all of a sudden Kiba shouted, Oh my gosh, Naruto, where did your whiskers go? A puzzled look crossed Naruto's face and he turned to the mirror next to the bed. His friend was right. His whisker marks had gone and his eyes seemed a pure blue. That is courtesy of your purification. You no longer carry the fox's characteristics, stated the dragon. Jumped for joy, things were looking up for him. Meanwhile, the Hokage briefed the parents of what had occurred, and as they were leaving he said, one last thing. Now that you know, I ask that you would just help the boy and don't mention the necklace. I would like him to keep his father's gift, and if the villagers knew that the Kyuubi resided in that necklace, they would hide it away. Finally, I think it's time we reintroduce a Beastmaster team, and I would like the three boys to make up that team, and I think the Beastmaster himself would be willing to lead the team, seeing as he is back in the village and has shown interest in Naruto already. You are dismissed. Naruto woke up in a comfortable bed, a warm bundle at his side. These things made him remember the previous day's happenings. The egg had hatched into a female dragon. He was purified of the Kyuubi which was stored into his necklace by the dragon, and he realized his new friends cared for him. Good morning. So what are we gonna do today? The dragon queried as Naruto started moving around. He climbed out of bed, went to the adjoining bathroom and showered. After his shower, Naruto noticed a marking on his shoulder. On closer inspection he realized it was a tattoo of a dragon. That's a sign of our bond. I didn't like the idea of a marking on your hand, so I put it on your shoulder. Naruto was ecstatic about his tattoo. Women are gonna fall over just at the sight of this tattoo. Woohoo, people will think I am so badass. The dragon merely shook her head. So does that mean you are going to walk around topless for the rest of your life and show off your little bit of a tummy? At this, Naruto went bright red. It's just baby fat, okay. In a mood, he quickly clothed himself. As he left the bedroom, he stuck out his tongue towards the dragon before running off, closely followed by his dragon cub. After a few minutes they both realized they were lost and decided that since they didn't know where to go, they might as well just stop where they were. After a few minutes they heard footsteps. A few thoughts passed between the two. The Sandaime had been having a good day so far. Things were looking up for Naruto and he had organized to speak to the villagers in an hour. The only thing bothering him was the fact that he couldn't find his charge anywhere. So here he was searching his own house for a boy and a baby dragon. He rounded the corner. They waited patiently. Naruto counted down silently. As he reached 0, a foot came round the corner. The dragon launched itself at the foot, clinging with sharp teeth to the old wrinkled skin. Oh 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 w, the old man screamed. Sarutobi rounded the corner to see that at the other end of the corridor a baby dragon clamped its jaws around his headservant's foot. He immediately sprinted down, shouting along the way, "Naruto! No! Call it off right this instant." Ashamed, Naruto did as he was told. "Sorry old man that my dragon bit you." The boy profusely apologized. The man in question merely smiled, bowed to the boy and his master before carrying on his way. A relieved Naruto leaned against the wall. "Sorry GG. It's okay Naruto, just don't do it again. Now I was looking for you. You have a busy day ahead of you. First we are going to announce what happened to you to the village, then I am going to go for a meeting, then you and your friends will be accompanying me to the council. But first let's get some food, follow me to the kitchen and ask her what she wants." They had made their way to the kitchen and had eaten a hearty meal. It turned out the dragon ate whatever Naruto ate. Soon after the meal they made their way to the Hokage Tower and made their way up to the roof. Spread out below them was the population of Konoha. They looked on with rapt attention, as it was not often that their leader called a village meeting. "Good morning Konoha. I have gathered you all for a very important announcement. Konoha is free from Kyuubi." His exclamation was received by a blank stare from the entire assembled group. "I am sorry, that was unclear. I shall explain. Naruto received an egg a short while ago. He looked after the egg until it hatched into a dragon, which means Naruto is Konoha's first and only dragon rider. The dragon used its magic to purify Naruto of Kyuubi, so we are free of it." This statement was received with unbelief. "To prove it, I shall show you Naruto and his dragon." Naruto stepped forward nervously. However, a hand on his shoulder calmed him. GG would protect him. "As you can see, I did not lie. The whisker marks are gone and he has a dragon. And for further proof I would like a Hyuga to check for any traces of Kyuubi." All the present Hyugas who could activated their bloodline limit, which allowed them to see chakra flow inside the body, did and gasp in shock and joy. Word spread that it was true and that Naruto was free of Kyuubi. The crowd erupted into cheers. They were free. "Thank you for your time. As celebration today and tomorrow are public holidays, enjoy and be merry." He stepped down and taking Naruto's hand led him back inside the tower. "Naruto, you are gonna have to go and get your friends and bring them to my office. While you do that I will go for my meeting. Take your friends out for lunch with this money. Now run along." Naruto ran off, leaving behind a smiling Sarutobi. He turned to his office and entered, well aware of the presence that waited. The Sandaime entered his office and sat down and waited for his visitor to make himself known. "I have heard some rumors of late. A boy with a dragon sounds interesting. I am glad I took an interest in that boy when I first met him. It seems to have paid off." The figure stepped forward. He had the brown unruly hair of an Inuzuka but had only one triangular mark on his left cheek. On his right cheek he had a scar that looked as if an animal had sliced diagonally down his right cheek. He had bandages from just under his chin down. He wore a large cloak that was a dark forest green. It had a high collar and completely covered him. The cloak was plain except for the image of a large bear paw that sliced open the cloak. Where it sliced there were red streaks. The man seemed to perpetually smile and his eyes stayed scrunched up in an upside-down U constantly. "Ah Yaju Seto, or should I call you the Beastmaster as the bingo books have named you. Have you made a decision on your career? Because I have a suggestion for you that I am sure you would be interested in." "Sounds intriguing. What are you planning, old man? Spit it out. I want to know." Sarutobi smiled. He knew his plans would work. "Well, Seto, I was wondering if you would like to be a sensei. I believe it's time to bring back the Beastmaster squad, and this time you will be able to prevent any broken hearts. What do you say?" The mon's smile faded, as he took on a thoughtful look. "You know what? I think it's time I moved on and attempt to atone for my sins." "I accept." Sarutobi smiled. "Good, then let's put it to the council. But first we need to find the proposed squad. They should be at Ichiraku's ramen bar, which is your favorite eating spot, isn't it?" At the same time Naruto had found Shino and Kiba and they had just arrived at Ichiraku's to see the Sandaime and a man sit down for a meal. Naruto looked nervously around and put a hand to his necklace. "GG, who is with you? Can we join you or should we go somewhere else? I don't want to disturb your meeting." Sarutobi smiled at the boy's manners and insight. It was good that the boy was not being brash. "Come Naruto, Kiba and Shino, come join us for a meal." Said boys quickly joined the Hokage and placed their order. "Hey there kids, my name's Yaju Seto. What are your names?" the kind visitor asked. The boys all introduced themselves. The group ate in relative silence as the boys spoke to each other, leaving the two adults to sit in silence. They paid for their meal and all turned to the Hokage. "Okay guys, now that we are all fed we need to go to the council meetings. Follow Seto and I." they made their way to the council chamber. The council chamber was a large room with circular set of benches that was 3 rows high. In the middle was the speakers area, and all the spectators or counselors sat in the surrounding levels of benches. As the group waited in the middle, all the clan heads of Konoha filed in the top 2 rows and important merchants filed into the bottom row. Once they had all settled in, the Sandaime began the meeting. Good morning all, and thank you for showing up on such short notice, but I have a plan I would like to put into place. However, I wasn't the village's support as I implement my plans. The assembled people looked to each other in confusion. No one knew what their leader was on about. I wish to create a new Beastmaster squad with the people you see before you. Hokage-sama, sorry to interrupt, but the last squad failed horribly. Are you sure this time will be different? No one but Naruto noticed the man next to him clench his fists at the mention of the previous squad. Naruto knew he would have to learn more about this Seto guy. That is why Yaju Seto will be the squad leader, as he knows what went wrong and can rectify the problems. At this statement, Seto looked up, determination etched into his profile. I will not fail my team this time round. I will atone for my mistakes and will make this the best squad ever. The councilman looked relieved. However, another posed a new problem. I believe this will be a good idea, but the children are too young to be ninjas, so why approach us now? Sarutobi answered the question. That is a good question. I thought that if they were trained lightly from young, when they become genin they will be stronger in terms of teamwork, and it is to help train them to get along better with their partner animals. They will merely be instructed in basic chakra control, animal care and light teamwork training. They will also carry on learning their family techniques. Now may we put this to a vote? All in favor? The majority voted for its passing, so the plan was official. Sarutobi turned to the kids and said, I have already spoken to your parents, and in Naruto's case as his legal caretaker it has been decided that you 3 will be a team under Yaju Seto-san. Now if you will follow him, he wants to have your first meeting. The boys turned to the smiling man who beckoned them to follow him. He spoke as he took them to the village gates. Okay guys, from now on you will call me Seto-sensei. We will be going on a week-long journey. You will not be able to get anything from home or even say goodbye. This will be a team training week. I have told your parents via messengers and they were at the meeting, so they understand what's going to happen. By now they had reached the gates where the Hokage waited, 3 scrolls in his hand. He handed each one a scroll and said, this scroll holds a letter from your family and some supplies as well as warm clothes. You will have to figure out how to open them to get what's inside. He smiled and bid them goodbye as the 3 6-year-old kids and their new sensei left on a training week. Woohoo! We are going on a journey! Naruto shouted excitedly. They all laughed and carried onward, leaving the village and a smiling old man behind. They had been waking for about an hour. When Seto decided it was time to rest the little children. Alright guys, let's stop off here. I want to learn more about you guys. Tell me your name, your partner's name if it applies, and something about yourself and something about your partner. You first, dog boy. Name's Kiba and this is my friend Akamaru. I like to have fun outside and Akamaru loves to chase cats. Seto next pointed to Shino. My name is Aburame Shino. My hive is unnamed. I like to study about my bugs. My hive is still too small to do anything but scout. My name is Naruto. Her name is. I haven't actually named her yet. Naruto hung his head. Ashamed he had already failed in rearing his pet. Naruto, don't be ashamed. A name is something very important, don't rush into it, and she is only 2 days old. Now carry on, I am sure you know something about her, Seto said. Almost as if to echo Seto's point, she climbed into Naruto's lap and made what could be assumed to be a dragon purr. Well, she loves forests and ramen. I like my new friends and never want to let them be hurt. The dragon nodded in confirmation. Seto smiled at his young charges. Now I want you guys to spend an hour alone with your partner, and when we come back together we will talk about what we learn. Shino walked away from the clearing, as did Kiba. Naruto just stayed where he was already talking to his partner. Hey, can we go to my mind place again? The dragon looked at him and touched her nose to his forehead, and the two found themselves in their shared mindscape. The forest was as lush as ever with plants and trees growing all over the place. The forest gave a sense of peace over them. What do you call yourself? The dragon looked at him quizzically. I don't name myself, that is for you to decide. Naruto looked confounded. What do you like the most? The dragon paced around and then said, you are flying. I love the forests and the sky. Naruto sat there for a while. He went through a list of names. The dragon nodded or grunted according to her tastes. Hakume, which means twilight, or Sora, for sky. You can't have 2 names. The dragon looked at him and started laughing. You have 2 names, Uzumaki and Naruto, so why can't I? Naruto happily agreed. So Hakume Sora, do you like your name? I'll call you Sora unless I am being polite. They both smiled and carried on conversing for the rest of the given time. By the way, Sora, can you speak telepathically to anyone? The dragon nodded. Yes, if I feel like it I can, and also if they do not protect themselves. A tap on Naruto's shoulder alerted him to the team's return. Whoa Naruto, weren't you supposed to be talking with your partner? Sensei might get angry. Seto merely laughed at their antics. Kiba. Naruto was in his mindscape. Sarutobi told me of that ability of Naruto's and his drag. Naruto cut off his sensei. Apologies Seto-sensei, but we decided her name as Hakume Sora. Naruto smiled. That is very good Naruto. A fitting name, Twilight Sky. It's poetic. Now come on guys, it's time to carry on with our journey. I want to find a good campsite before nightfall, because that is where we'll be staying for the week. They carried on walking for the rest of the afternoon until they found a large clearing in the forest that bordered a plain and river. Alright, this is as good a place as any. Tonight we are gonna sleep in shelters that we are gonna make. Find some branches and vines to make a shelter. You guys will have to make one that fits you and your partner and is warm and dry. While you do that, I'll find us some supper. The boys all had a look of determination on their faces. Each one had different reasons to do their best. Kiba did it because it was something new and fun to try. Naruto did his best to make his friends and sensei proud, and Shino worked hard so he could impress his new friends. Away Seto sat and watched his new apprentices work hard. He was happy with the Sandame's choice in students. They all had gigantic amounts of potential. They just needed someone to help them realize and make use of it. He was gonna be the one to take them to new heights. He turned away to catch their supper. When Seto arrived, each of his students had made a failure of an attempt. Kiba had just tied his sticks together to form a crude teepee that didn't fit him. Shino had used his bugs to shred and shape branches and tied them so that they formed a lean-to, however with a little wind it would have fallen on him. Naruto had done the best by stripping branches and lashing together a frame, however his problem came in not having enough things to cover his frame. Well done guys, come now let's take a look at each of your shelters. They went to each shelter where Seto commended them for their good points and helped them fix their weak points, and by the end of the hour they all had perfect single night shelters. Sensei. What are you going to sleep in? It is almost too late to start making a shelter. Seto smiled at Shino's question and said, good point Shino. I will be teaching you the best place to sleep when you can't make a shelter. Look for a hollow in tree roots or up in the branches for a suitable hollow. Line it with leaves and soft branches to conserve heat and to protect from water. He walked over to a tree and found a good hollow. He lined it and made it comfortable. Now as a show of belief you three must sleep in someone else's shelter. For supper Seto cooked the children some rabbit stew and they sat around the fire as they ate content in nature, all of them in tune with the surroundings. They had an early night as the boys were tired from the walking. Naruto slept in Shino's shelter, Shino in Kiba's, Kiba in Naruto's, and Seto watching over them from his hollow. He had provided them with blankets and pillows so that they got a good night's sleep. The boys were awoken in the morning to the smell of fish as Seto-sensei cooked a good breakfast for them. They ate in a groggy silence, and after cleaning up the campsite they went to the river to get cleaned up and have some fun swimming. They returned to camp once they were all clean. Everyone but Sensei had swam as Seto had said that he had swam when he caught the fish. Okay kids, we are going to do some physical training. I want you to each do 10 sit-ups, 10 push-ups, 10 jumping jacks and jog to the river and back. Don't overwork yourselves. If you get tired you can rest, but it is better to do it all at once and rest afterwards. I'll be doing triple what you are doing, so we are working together. The boys' faces were set once again in determination. Once again, trying to gain the approval of their sensei. They all did well, with Kiba being the most physically adept of the three kids. After their exercises Seto called them together. Okay guys, well done. I want you to do that every day from now on. Even when we are apart, and once it gets easy increase it by another 10. Now is the time to try figure out the scrolls. I want you to just open them, split up and try and figure it out. They all went their separate ways and Seto merely climbed into the trees to watch their progress. Shino looked at the scroll and contemplated it. He had already eliminated the idea of prying it open and now looked at the seal. It was written in kanji and Shino was not good at reading it. After a while he saw the kanji for blood and, putting caution to the wind, bit his finger a little and put blood on the seal. The scroll opened up. Yes, I did it. I must show Naruto and Kiba how to open it. I want to help my allies. He ran off towards his friend. Seto saw this and quickly intercepted Shino. Shino, I see you got it. Well done. Are you going to tell Kiba and Naruto? You can always boast until they figure it out. They will think you are so smart. Seto was testing Shino to see if he would put his allies before him. Shino decided helping his friends was more important than gloating, and so he called them over and told them how the scrolls worked. Once they had all opened their scrolls, Seto made an appearance. Well done. It seems Shino is the brains of the group, and he also showed you guys the quality that will make this team amazing, and that is caring for your comrades. Shino could have gloated about being the first one to open his scroll, but he didn't. He chose to help his friends. Seto took in the scrolls and turned to the group. Let's eat some leftovers for lunch, Seto stated as he prepared a quick lunch for the team. After the meal he turned to Naruto. Naruto, teach Kiba and Shino the leaf training method. I'll be there to give pointers as well. Naruto took them to the field and explained the basics of chakra and how to do the training. They all sat down to do it. Naruto put the leaf to his forehead and concentrated on the chakra on his head. Naruto imagined the chakra forming a suction thing on his head and it worked. Naruto was amazed at how easy it was. Sensei, look, I got it. It's so easy now, how come? Seto thought for a while before coming to the obvious conclusion. Naruto, it is easier because you don't have to fight with the Kyuubi's chakra anymore. That means you'll have much more control, but you won't have unlimited chakra anymore. You do however have a very high capacity and stamina. With training you can be an amazing ninjutsu specialist. My idea is that Shino is the brains and stealth in the group. Kiba will be the taijutsu specialist and you will be the ninjutsu specialist. Now try doing it with more than one leaf. The boys carried on with this training for the rest of the afternoon, and when dusk came Seto took the boys hunting. With the help of their partners they caught a small deer for supper. Seto taught the boys how to skin and gut the deer and tried to teach the boys how to cook it. Eventually, a few burnt and raw pieces later, the boys got it right and ate their own cooked meal. As they sat around the fire, Seto explained the plans for the next day. Okay guys, tomorrow I'll wake you up and you'll have to sort out breakfast. After breakfast and cleaning we'll do chakra training. Then physical training. After that we will eat lunch and then do teamwork training and some partner time, during which you'll learn more about your partners and then report back so we can all learn together. I'll sort out supper and you guys can spend more time checking your scrolls in the evening. The boys nodded, not really taking in their sensei's itinerary. As they were falling asleep, he chased them to their own shelters and bid them good night. Naruto slept quietly, the natural forest sounds giving a sense of peace, the warmth of Sora against his belly, the annoying stick poking his back, the itchy areas from bug bites, the breeze that chilled his legs, the spider that slowly lowered towards his forehead, suspended on a tiny thread of silk. As it was about to touch his forehead, Naruto had a giant yawn and engulfed the spider. Arg, what the hell? Damn it, why would a spider climb into my mouth? Needless to say, the campsite was now awake. Seto smiled at the antics of the boy, who was currently retching a spitting out bits of a large spider. Well now, since Naruto woke us up, I guess it's time to go find some breakfast. Let's go to the river and catch some fish for breakfast. The group trooped down to the river and the boys stripped to their underwear and began to swim in attempt to catch fish. Seto followed, but he merely took off his coat and top, so he was just in his pants. Naruto looked to his sensei and noticed that he had bandages covering his whole chest and up to his chin. The group carried on cleaning, swimming and catching fish until they were ready to make breakfast. Seto quickly cooked up breakfast and filled his hungry charges' bellies. After breakfast the boys did their physical activities and proceeded to their chakra training. Seto returned to the campsite. The boys were not quite getting it except for Naruto, who quickly grew bored and decided to find his sensei to ask how to make his training more fun. Naruto entered the campsite and spotted his sensei and stopped dead. Seto was busy replacing his bandages and Naruto saw what they hid. Seto had major burns all over his chest and neck, and his stomach had a few punctures that were also burnt. The wounds looked fresh. Naruto gasped. Seto looked up to see his shocked student. Ah, now you see the physical representation of my sin. You know, I've had these wounds for 11 years and they have never once healed. Someday I will tell you my story. But for now, can you not speak of this? He finished bandaging himself. They returned to where the other boys worked, with Naruto trailing behind him, somewhat confused and severely shocked. When Shino noticed them, he stopped. He had almost got it and Kiba was nowhere. Okay guys, don't stop practicing. Kiba shot up at this. Chakra control is pointless. What is the point of it? I don't need chakra control. Seto was shocked at Kiba's outburst but could understand it because Kiba was not succeeding and probably felt useless. I guess I can show them what you can do with chakra control. It will also help Naruto get over what he saw and hopefully pique his interest. Okay Kiba, you don't have to do this training, but if you don't, you'll never get to do this. Seto stepped forward and placed his foot on the tree and started walking up it with just his feet. The boys looked on in shock. Once Seto got to the top, he manipulated his chakra into his leg muscles and jumped further than normally humanly possible. He flew up high into the air, and as he reached the top of his jump, his hands moved through a set of hand seals in a blur and he whispered, wind style. Cyclone shield. Wind picked up around him and surrounded him in the form of a cyclone that floated down to the boys and dissipated, leaving behind a slightly ruffled Seto. Cool, was the cry that greeted Seto's landing. He smiled and said, if you don't have control, you can't do that. Now get back to work. The boys wasted no time in getting back to work trying to stick leaves to themselves. Naruto had forgotten what he had seen and was attempting to stick another leaf on his forehead but noticed it to be much harder to spit his chakra between 2 points, so he started with the leaves close together. Lunch came and went with them being taught what berries and plants were edible and then forced to eat them. After lunch Seto took them to the grassy plain and said, "Hey guys, it's time to do teamwork training and we are going to do that by playing fort with a twist. You guys and your partners are on a team against me. I am going to make the fort and then when I set off the green flare you guys are going to have to try and take this bag from my fort." He held up a rucksack. "Inside is a gift. You guys can use anything you want to try beat me. Okay, you guys start from here. I'll go find a good place for the fort and make it. You guys stay here and plan or something." Seto then shot off into the forest. He was feeling good about this. Not only was this test of their teamwork but also of their physical capabilities. He had placed a sentry to watch and listen to his charges. After running for a few minutes he found a good tree, and set up his fort. Back in the clearing there was some major planning being done with Shino calling most of the shots. "Okay guys, I put a bug on him. With it my bugs can tell me where he is. What we are going to do is attack from 2 points and also from afar. While our partners go for his left, Kiba and I will go for his right. Now Naruto, you have the most important job. You have to sneak in and steal the flag. You have to be as quiet and hidden as possible and steal the bag and then run like hell." They all nodded and waited for the flare. As they waited they didn't know that they were being watched by a sentry. The flare went off and Shino lead the way to their sensei. When they got closer to their sensei they split up. Akamaru, Sora and the bugs went for the fort first as Kiba and Shino went around to try and catch their sensei unaware. Naruto slowly sneaked forward towards the fort. Seto was sitting in a tree about 2 meters from the fort and waited for his students to make their move. He had a lock on all their chakra signals and waited as they attempted to flank him. He waited and turned to face the oncoming boys. As he turned he was slammed into by 3 small balls. Overbalanced he fell to the floor. Looking back he saw Sora, Akamaru and a ball off bugs chasing after his fall. "Wow, I really stuffed up big time. I forgot about their partners," thought Seto. The boys watched their sensei fall and right himself before landing and then jumping away from the animals. Kiba rushed in to tackle his sensei. Seto, sensing his approach, dodged to the left, and then had to duck, as a rock from Shino came towards him. He then rolled to the side to dodge an attack of bugs. Akamaru was waiting for him and attempted to bite their sensei. Seto quickly dodged and disappeared to escape. He reappeared in the underbrush nearby. As he sat under the bush he realized that he had left the fort unguarded and quickly shunshine to the top of the fort. While they fought Naruto had made his way to the fort. He had made sure that he was on the opposite side of the tree to the fighting. He had then climbed up to the top and picked up the bag. As he was about to leave Seto appeared and grabbed him. Seto shouted out, "Alright guys, game over, you almost won but I caught Naruto, so too bad for you. Meet me at the campsite." He disappeared, forcing Kiba and Shino to follow. Once they got there they were greeted by a smiling and sheepish looking Naruto. "Sorry guys, I got caught." They all just laughed. "Okay guys, since you did so well you get the prize anyway. The prize is a tent for us all to sleep in." They all cheered, especially Naruto. They were sick of the shelters. "Okay guys, you did really well but now it's time for your partners. You guys go take an hour to spend with your partners while I cook supper." They all split up to do their task. With Seto. Seto prepared the food. While he prepared the food a bird came and landed next to him. Seto looked at the bird, gave it some bread and said telepathically, "Thank you friend, how did they do? Can you send me your memory of their planning?" The bird blinked and then flew away. Seto smiled at the memory he had just received. It looked like Shino was the brains in the group. With Naruto. Naruto and Sora had once again relocated to their shared mindscape. That was fun, wasn't it, Sora? Sora nodded and replied by showing Naruto a set of images from her point of view. "Cool, can I do that too? How do I show you images of my memory?" Naruto eagerly asked. "Just concentrate on showing me the memory." They then spent most of the time sharing memories of their day. "Sora, are you gonna grow like really big?" Sora smiled at Naruto's animated gestures as he spread his arms as wide as possible. "Yes, eventually I will, but that will only be much later. My growth is dependent on you and your ability at handling me. It'll start growing really fast once you turn 15, but until then the biggest it'll get is big enough to comfortably carry you." The two carried on talking for the rest of the time. Once the hour was over they came back together and had supper. After supper Seto handed out the letters and the boys were allowed to read the messages from their families. Kiba and Shino got from their parents and Naruto got from the Sandame and Akaku. Once the kids had read their letters, Seto said, okay guys, it's time you learn about sealing scrolls. You see the funny seal at the bottom, well put your hand on it and put chakra into the seal. It only needs a little. All the boys did as they were told and were rewarded with backpacks that held food and changes of clothes and the basic things they would need for a comfortable week-long camp out. Time for bed everyone. I've already set up the tent, so just find your blankets and go to sleep. Seto smiled as the boys trooped into the tent. He was enjoying being around people. Maybe 11 years is enough. I think I can atone for my sins through these boys. I have been alone for 11 long years and now I am back. 3 boys slept peacefully, the sun streaming into their tent through the open flap. The sun caressed the sleeping faces. Suddenly the sun was obscured as a figure stealthily entered the tent. The figure's hands blurred and it whispered something almost inaudible. Water from outside came into the tent floating eerily. It stopped to hover above the sleeping boys. Wake up you lazy bums, the figure shouted. The 3 boys shot upright face first into the water. What followed were strings of obscenities, which children aged 6 should not know, aimed at a laughing Seto. The boys had been awoken similarly for the past 2 days. Today was the 6th day of their camp and they were thoroughly enjoying it despite their rude awakenings. The days had followed their predecessor in form and today was no different. They bathed, ate and did their physical training. After that they went for chakra training. Okay guys, today I am teaching you something new. It's called a chakra pulse. A chakra pulse allows you to sense people around you. It's like sonar. What you do is imagine a little of your chakra and put it into a ball in your middle and then shoot it out. The more you use, the more you'll sense, but also the further it'll go. Try it now. The boys all did as they were told. Kiba shot out a small ball that got a meter away. Shino shot a better constructed one that reached his friends. Wow, it's weird but I can tell who is who. Naruto seems wild and untamed and Kiba seems canine. Seto nodded at Shino's statement. That's because you are noting their chakra signal and it shares the characteristics of its owner. At that moment they saw Naruto's necklace glow a little red, and when Naruto released his pulse it was red and very powerful. It ripped from the boy, knocking him unconscious. Sora yelped in pain. The pulse shot out rapidly. It washed over a passing Konoha ninja before fading away. The ninja felt it and rushed towards the source, anger radiating from him. Seto released a pulse and noted the ninja coming. Guys, go hide in that tree. Take Naruto with you. The boys quickly obeyed. As they got into the tree they turned to watch the scene. I knew it was too good to be true, sneered the ninja. He had silver hair. Come on Seto, give up the brat, so I can kill him. Seto turned towards him, anger radiating coldly. Mizuki. You will not harm the boy. However, I will definitely harm you. At this, Seto blurred through a set of handseals fire style. Grand fireball. The ball of fire engulfed Mizuki and when it cleared there was a burnt log. Seto sidestepped Mizuki's lunge and punched him, sending him into the field. Mizuki got up laughing. Is this the extent of the mighty beast master's skill? You are just an empty shell of your previous glory. I see the past has broken you. Are you going to destroy this team as well? A sharp whistle filled the air as Seto looked towards Mizuki while whistling. Mizuki, you should not have said that. A roar enveloped the field and a massive bear crashed into the clearing. The bear reared up on its hind legs, reaching up a full 9 feet. Before charging down the frightened Mizuki. In one swipe it had knocked out the unfortunate ninja. Seto scribbled a note, gave it to the bear in a messenger tube which he strapped to its neck. Take him to the Hokage. Seto barked and set off to pack the campsite. The bear lumbered off into the distance. Seto returned to find all 3 boys and their partners scared, awake and confused. Follow me, Seto barked. His eyes were their usual upside down U, but it was easy to tell he was angry. The boys jumped and followed their sensei. They walked the opposite direction from the village. Back in Konoha, a major scene occurred when a giant bear bulldozed its way into the Hokage tower. The Sandaime Sunshine down from his office saw the bear and immediately reached for the message. It read, Hokage-sama. While teaching Naruto the chakra pulse, the Kyuubi interfered, alerting Mizuki. Mizuki attempted to attack Naruto. I stopped him. Mizuki should be sentenced to death. I am taking the boys to the spring, meet me there in a week. I am worried about the Kyuubi. Yaju Seto. Send this prisoner to the prison cells. I will deal with him when I get back. With that the Sandaime Hokage shunshined out of Konoha, intent on a mission. 4 figures walked along the road, one tall and the other 3 very small. Upon closer inspection one could see a puppy and reptile keeping pace with them. The boys were still shaken from what they had seen and the anger that still radiated from their sensei even an hour after the occurrence. The tense atmosphere only further confused the young children as they were unused to ninja killing intent which Seto was unknowingly releasing. Oblivious, or more appropriately unconcerned with the previous occurrence, Akamaru was stalking Sora's tail as it swayed with her gait. The puppy was closing in and soon the moment drew closer for his attack. the ninja and hopefuls continued oblivious, a very bad thing for ninjas to do, as their silent troubled thoughts were shattered by a bark of triumph as Akamaru clamped down on Sora's tail. Smoke burst from Sora's mouth as she squealed in shock at Akamaru's triumph. Sora then proceeded to turn on her attacker, grabbing his tail. The ensuing tug of war completely shattered the tense atmosphere and left the group laughing till they fell about the floor. Seto let out a throaty laugh before saying, "Guys, I am sorry about what happened, but don't worry about it. We are going to a hot spring nearby where we will meet the Hokage. I am planning something big, so cheer up." At the thought of a surprise, the boys immediately brightened, except for Naruto. "Nay, Seto-sensei, what exactly does the chakra pulse do? I heard what Shino said, but I don't understand how that will help." Seto smiled. He was glad his students were asking questions. "Well, Naruto, the chakra pulse helps improve your chakra reserves and control, but its main function is sort of like an early warning system. Imagine you are being followed. With the chakra pulse, you'd notice if a particular person was following you." Naruto went from a rapt attentive look to a thoughtful one. "Sugoi. So if I did it all the time, I'd always know where my friends were." "Awesome, I am gonna do it all the time." Seto smiled. Naruto had already realized the significance of the chakra pulse. "If only I had known the chakra pulse earlier. Then I wouldn't have lost them. No, I mustn't dwell on the past. I must atone." Yes, Naruto, that would be a very good thing to do. The thing is, although most people can do the chakra pulse, very few can do it stealthily. What I want is all of you to do a chakra pulse every hour that you are awake. That way you'll get really good at it. The more you do it, the less chakra it'll take, because you'll learn to do it more naturally. The more natural it is, the less other people will notice it. He looked at his students, only one of which was paying attention. Shino was looking at a bug and Kiba was running ahead with Akamaru. Seto sighed. He had given such a good piece of advice and only 1 out of 3 had paid attention. "I don't really get it, sensei. But I'll do it every 2 seconds and become super strong." Yatta. With that, Naruto ran off, pulsing away. As the boys ran along, they realized their sensei was not following them. Upon looking back, they saw their sensei cursing the heavens with tears streaming from his eyes. "Oh God above, why did you bless me with only 1 attentive student? A misguided one at that. I give up." Seto crawled up into a small ball, sobbing to himself, muttering about lectures and students. Naruto. "Kiba, I think that man has lost his marbles. What do we do?" Shino casually asked. Naruto nodded solemnly before screwing his eyes up in concentration before releasing a pulse. "Yup, he's lost it all right. What do you think, Kiba?" Upon completing his sentence, Naruto turned to Kiba and released yet another chakra pulse. Shino also looked quizzically at Kiba. "Dogpile sensei," was the reply the two got. Without missing a beat, Kiba and Shino jumped onto their sensei, with Naruto following only after releasing a pulse. The group tumbled about in a bout of friendly roughhousing. The game was punctuated with Naruto releasing pulses randomly. After an hour of fun games and pulsing, on Naruto's part, they set off. Seto told the boys that they were going to a nearby hot spring and that it would take a week to get there. They stopped for the night and set up camp in a clearing just off the road. It took a little longer to set up camp because Naruto would pause every few seconds to pulse. His pulse reached about 2 meters from him, and these pauses basically made him a liability. Kiba was too busy chasing Akamaru to set up camp, and Seto was collecting food and wood. This left poor Shino to do all the work. Stupid pulse. Dog face. Bandage freak. Grr. Why should I do this? Oh wait, I know why. It's because I am the only one doing anything. Shino's muttering was cut short by yet another pulse. Eventually, an hour and a few pulses later, the camp was set up and Seto was cooking the meal. They retired to bed with Shino complaining, Naruto pulsing, and Kiba being dragged to bed by a frustrated Seto. "I have a pulsing blonde Gaki. A hyperdog boy that crashes to the floor once he uses up his energy, and a grumpy, unappreciated bug kid. Great," Seto muttered to himself as he cleaned up the campsite before retiring to bed. As he clambered into his bed, he was disturbed by a pulse. 4 people walked along the dusty road towards a large building. The blonde figure in the middle suddenly stopped and stood with a constipated look on his face and expelled a wave of chakra, traveled past the building and stopped 60 meters from the boy. Suddenly the other 3 stopped and turned menacingly towards the young 6-year-old blonde boy. Wait, please don't hit me, or at least before you do let me have my say." Naruto backed away slowly from the 3 monsters, his hands covering his face to hopefully ward off the oncoming blows. "Please guys, not again, it's for training. I am not doing this to grow stronger. Think about it this way. If I can do this well, you can never be caught off guard. Seriously, wasn't it a good thing that I noticed the masked ninjas that were following us?" Naruto. Seto sweetly said, "The only reason they were following us was because you wouldn't stop pulsing." The large man made a quick grab for the boy, only to have his hand knocked away by a flying green reptile. In shock, Naruto fell backwards. Upon landing on his butt, he unconsciously let off another pulse. That's it, that was the last straw. Naruto, I will seal away your chakra. Seto ran through a set of hand seals and his hand began to glow. He reached out and was about to touch Naruto. Further away, two men quickly made their way towards the big building, unconsciously running into Naruto's chakra pulse, so intent on their target they did not notice the pulse. Back with our near-death scene, sensei. I sensed two gigantic chakra forces coming this way. Seto's hand immediately stopped glowing as he got into a fighting stance to face the incoming chakra forces his student spoke of. Normally Seto would not believe Naruto, as Naruto often spread stories to escape the wrath of his teammates, but this time Naruto's tone was different. Along the road stormed two large men straight towards the group. Kids, get behind me. Send your animals into the forest in case we need a diversion. Finally the two men caught up to the group, and before Seto could even react, Jiraiya, the little boy, ran forward and embraced his grandfather figure. Ah, Naruto. Long time no see, how goes my little rascal? Seto visibly relaxed. Sorry to interrupt, Hokage-sama, but it would be preferable to continue this at the hot springs. Seto's comment was interrupted by a loud giggle, and the man who had arrived with the Hokage ran off, only visible as a streak of long white hair. A short while later the group had settled into the hot springs. The boys all played in the water except for Shino, who sat on the edge with his feet in the water. Seto and the Hokage relaxed off to one side, and the strange white-haired ninja sat by the wall that separated the boys and girls sections, giggling. So that is what happened. The old man stated after Seto had recounted the prior week's occurrences. So let me get this straight. Naruto no longer holds the Kyuubi within himself, but rather in the necklace. Is that where we are right now? The white-haired man said suddenly right next to Seto. Yes, that is what we think. But that's why I called you. You have the best knowledge of sealing, so we needed you, Jiraiya, to check it out, stated the Hokage. Well, I don't think Naruto is completely purified. There is no way that necklace could hold him. Although it can hold a limitless amount of chakra, the demon is different. The Kyuubi is a sentient chakra entity and therefore would find a way to escape. I hypothesize that the chakra entity is stored in the necklace via the dragon's doing. However, it cannot be completely removed from Naruto, or else the entity would escape. Naruto is the base for the extensive seal. The two men nodded thoughtfully at the white-haired ninja's hypothesis. It makes sense. I don't get it. Gomen, white-haired Sama. But could you please say that in a way I can understand? The ninja had not realized that the boy had been paying attention. Jiraiya looked over towards Sarutobi and at the old man's nod attempted to simplify his hypothesis. Well, that necklace of yours can hold chakra to infinity, but the Kyuubi is made of chakra, and because of that he can be stored in the necklace. But the Kyuubi is also smart, so if he was just put in the necklace he would escape. So we think he is not completely removed from you but is sealed by you in the dragon. You are the thing that keeps the Kyuubi locked up in the necklace. Oh, that makes sense, Naruto replied. In my mindscape, that's what Sora calls it. There is a stone pillar thing with a red orb on it. I think that is Kyuubi. Jiraiya raised his eyebrows at this statement and muttered under his breath, if only I could go into your mindscape. Naruto, I can take him into your mindscape if you want. I think he can help. I don't want to let the one who poisons hurt us again. Sora mentioned telepathically. I'm sorry, white-haired Sama. But Sora says she can take you to my mindscape. Naruto timidly ventured. Yes please Naruto, Jiraiya quickly stated. Tell the man to put his hand on your forehead. Naruto did as instructed, and then Sora touched her nose to Jiraiya's forehead. Naruto's mindscape. Jiraiya opened his eyes to find himself in the forest glade with Sora. Wow. This is a pretty place, but where is the pedestal? I don't want to be here too long, Jiraiya stated. Sora made her way towards the red-stained tree and it reverted to the pedestal. Naruto is the key in lock to this seal. He holds the beast at bay, but when he channels chakra he sometimes takes from the stone, which is like opening the door a little. The beast rushed the opening when Naruto first attempted the chakra pulse. That is why a bit of his chakra escaped, Sora quickly explained. It makes sense. Can I further seal this orb so that Naruto can only access the necklace if he removes the seal? Sora nodded. Jiraiya quickly set about sealing the orb. He covered the orb with symbols and then placed his hand in the middle of the symbol and applied chakra. The symbols seemed to come alive as they all glowed and retreated towards Jiraiya's palm. A mighty roar rang with anger from the orb just as the sealing completed. Jiraiya removed his hand and under his palm was a slip of paper which Jiraiya wrote a message to Naruto. Once done he turned to Sora and nodded. Sora understood that the work was done and returned the pedestal to its tree form. She then transported Jiraiya out of Naruto's mindscape. Back in the hot springs, Jiraiya opened his eyes and noticed that Naruto had fallen asleep. He looks so much like his father, it is uncanny. I can't leave yet. Sarutobi looked at the sky and sighed. I think it's time for the boys to go to sleep. Seto, Jiraiya. Once the boys are asleep, come see me, we need to talk. And so Seto took the boys to their beds, much to Kiba and Shino's disappointment, but as soon as the boys climbed into the hot springs hotel beds they immediately fell asleep. Seto's expression turned serious now. For the real negotiations. With that thought he made his way toward Sarutobi's room. Absolutely not. Seto, that is outrageous, Sarutobi raged. Seto had attempted to convince Sarutobi to allow his plans to go through. Why not? It is in the best interest of the team. Seto countered. Have you thought about how this could affect their growth, not as shinobi but as humans? Sarutobi was livid. Of course I have, but you've seen how the villagers treat him. Do you think that is conducive to a happy growth? My way will help him have a much better childhood, and anyway it would only be for 6 years maximum. Jiraiya sighed. This argument was going nowhere. Sarutobi had let them sleep for a few hours before he woke them up at 4 to discuss the children's future. Jiraiya guessed he should add his 2 cents, but it was just so much work. However, he reasoned, if I stop this argument then maybe I'll get to spy on that tour group that just arrived. That settles it. Enough, both of you. Let's just lay the cards on the table. The two turned towards the white-haired man. Seto has proposed that he take the boys away from Konoha so that he can train them his own way. The upside is that this will be extremely good for their shinobi growth. On the downside, they won't get to spend time with the future ninjas of their own age. Jiraiya had brought up very good points, however it was really hard for the 2 other men to take him seriously, what with a bleeding nose and all. I propose a compromise. Jiraiya wiped his nose and giggled. I say the boys do leave the village proper but merely relocate to a nearby town. There they will learn as usual from their sensei, have members from their families stop by so that they can also learn their family styles, as that is an important thing for the Aburame and Inuzuka. I will stop by to teach Naruto some of his father's techniques once he is ready. Once they are old enough they return and take the genin exams. If they pass we can send them on a series of co-op missions with the other teams so that they can build up comradeship with their other teams. The 2 arguing men took in Jiraiya's proposal and could not find any problems, but where would we send them? Sarutobi questioned. I also have an answer to that. I own some land outside Tanzania. There is some structure but it would be quite dilapidated. If you are willing to do some fixing up it's yours. Seto smiled at their fortune. Thanks Jiraiya, that would be good. Fixing it up will be good work for the boys, but what about cash? Sarutobi sighed. Ever since Kyuubi's attack Konoha had most of its funds go to repairing and strengthening Konoha. From the village I can give you a stipend and there is also your mission pay. Seto sighed. I don't think we have enough money to fix up a property. Jiraiya sighed. It's for my godchild's future. Alright, seeing as it is my property, I will pay for the repairs but then I'll expect rent which will go into an account for Naruto. He is my godson and I need to provide for him. The plans seem to come together. They spent the next hour thrashing out the details of the plan. I will go to wake the boys, Seto stated and left. Sarutobi turned to Jiraiya. I am glad you are taking a larger part in the boys' future. Can I ask that you join them for a while just to help fix up the place and also to make sure Naruto's growth is on par? From what Seto has told me, Naruto seems to have larger than normal chakra reserves even without the Kyuubi, and has then also had those reserves further increased due to the dragon's influence. It seems the dragon's partnership increases Naruto's natural capabilities in terms of senses and chakra. He also has rather good chakra control for his age. Jiraiya's eyebrows rose at this statement. Of course I'll join them for a while. I think we can aid Naruto into becoming a ninjutsu specialist. He has all the necessary traits and then some. The boys and Seto trooped in, interrupting the old men's talk. Good morning boys, let's go have something to eat and then we can go talk in the hot springs. The boys, still half asleep, just nodded at Sarutobi's words and followed their sensei. After breakfast, okay. Guys, I have an announcement to make. Seto happily exclaimed. The boys finally snapped out of their sleep. Announcements of late had been good things. Guys, the Hokage has agreed to let me take you on an extended training journey. We are going to go live in a place in Tanzania which is one of the closest towns to Konoha. At this statement each boy had a different reaction. Naruto was excited, so excited in fact he pulsed. Kiba seemed a little downcast and Shin sat in a contemplative stance. Nay, sensei, when am I going to get to see my family again? Kiba nervously asked. Ah, don't worry about that Kiba, you'll see a family member for 1 month every 4 months starting a month from now, as you'll need family training and well all learn from each other's families seeing as we all have partners. I don't understand, Naruto asked. It wasn't that he didn't understand, it was more that he didn't have family so was trying to disguise his main question. Seto thought about Naruto's strange question. He could see Naruto understood. He decided to explain anyway. 1 month Kiba's mom will come, then the next month Shino's dad will come, and the next month I'll come, piped up Jiraiya. Naruto, I don't know if you know, but I am your godfather. 5 heads turned to the white-haired pervert in shock. Who are you and don't make such outrageous claims as to be my godfather, freaking pervert. Jiraiya's face turned to shock. I am the mighty and gallant, beautiful and skillful, woer of woman all round the world. Your godfather, Jiraiya of the Sennin. Jiraiya proudly exclaimed. Who? Naruto once again said. Naruto. Jiraiya was the 4th Hokage's sensei. He is also one of the strongest ninja in all of Konoha. Yes, he is your godfather, Sarutobi sighed. Had been meaning to keep this from Naruto for a while longer as he knew where it would lead. If you are my godfather, then you know who my parents were. Tell me who my parents were. Jiraiya looked over at Sarutobi. The third sadly shook his head. Jiraiya was torn. He has every right to know, but I understand that it would be dangerous for him to know. Jiraiya took one more look at Sarutobi before picking Naruto up and running off. Sarutobi merely sighed. He knew this would happen. I just hope Naruto is smart enough to realize that he can't tell everyone. In a nearby clearing. Alright Naruto, I am going to tell you who your parents were, but you have to promise me you won't tell people. It's for your own safety that I ask this of you, but I am telling you because every child deserves to know who their parents are. Naruto nodded. I think I understand. Jiraiya went down on his haunches, still towering over his godson. Your parents were Uzumaki Kushina, a ninja from the village of the Whirlpool. She died in the attack as far as I know. Your father was Namikaze Minato, the 4th Hokage. Naruto just stopped. Jiraiya thought the child had died or frozen. I think I understand why I wasn't told. I would have been angry that he had sealed that monster and then left me. I know he died, but why? Naruto sunk to the floor. Jiraiya sadly shook his head. He would have expected the child to be jumping at such news, and here was Naruto taking it surprisingly hard. It was the only way to seal the Kyuubi, by giving up his life. Naruto looked up in anger. Why didn't someone else sacrifice? Why did it have to be my dad? Why didn't you or someone else take his place? Wasn't he a strong ninja? Isn't it better to sacrifice a weak ninja and not the leader? I don't get it. Why was I left behind? And with that the boy broke down, and this cracked the extremely hard exterior Jiraiya had put up since the defection of his teammate and the unfair sacrifice of his student. Kid, I know it is sometimes hard to believe, but sometimes sacrifices have to be made. I have been forced to make sacrifices before. Jiraiya tried to console the child unsuccessfully. So what if sacrifices have to be made? It's not always the person who sacrifices that gets hurt the most. You don't know what it's been like. I lived 6 years without someone to love me. 6 years of being ignored or worse. Looked at with angry eyes. I've even been hit sometimes. Can you really imagine how it was to grow up for 6 years alone? What do you know about being left behind? Huh. Little did Naruto know, but he had struck a very sensitive wound Jiraiya carried. Oh, I know. Alright Naruto, my teammate and friend left Konoha and me behind. I was your father's sensei. Think about it from my point of view. You did not know your father. I practically raised the kid. I was not just his sensei, but I was also his father figure, seeing as your father was an orphan like you. I raised him and he left. He sacrificed himself, leaving behind an old man with no one. My other teammate also left. I was alone. But now I got you. I know these last 6 years were bad, but I am here now and I will help fix my mistakes. I'll be there for you when you need me, and now you also have your teammates and sensei. We are your family now, and so is Sora. At his words, Sora finally caught up and crawled into Naruto's arms. You are right. I have family now. I don't ever think I'll understand why my dad sacrificed himself, but I won't hate him. However, I will bypass him and be stronger. I will do what he did and I'll do it better. I will become Hokage. I will become Hokage to protect the village, and I'll become Hokage to carry on my father's legacy. Naruto exclaimed, going from strength to strength, wiping away his tears and hugging Sora. I want to become strong enough to protect you, Sensei, my friends, everyone, and Sora. Don't worry, I won't tell people who my parents are. I need to become strong in my own way. I don't want people treating me different because of dad or mom. Jiraiya smiled. He once again had a true purpose for existing. He would guide his godson on his way to achieving his dreams. Naruto, I promise I'll help you achieve your dreams. Now let's go back. They walked back and Sora followed. They did not notice, but Sora was glowing a soft forest green, and as she stopped she seemed to grow a little, not in size but rather in presence, almost as if she had a goal she was determined to achieve, and that she did. Sora was determined to help Naruto in his goals as Naruto's goals were her goals. Back with the others. No, guys, stay. This is between Naruto and Jiraiya. Seto shouted as he attempted to hold the boys back. From chasing Jiraiya and Naruto, Akamaru's ears perked up as he heard the return of Naruto and Jiraiya. The door burst open and there stood gallant Jiraiya and a determined Naruto. Naruto stood still and released a chakra pulse of greater distance than he had ever before achieved. Kiba ran towards Jiraiya intent on taking out the kidnapper. He was interrupted by a tackle to the midriff from Naruto. "It okay Kiba, he is cool, he's gonna help me become the greatest Hokage ever." The two boys then started roughhousing. They soon engulfed Shino as well. As they ran around, the adults shared a few glances wherein Jiraiya let it be known that Naruto knew of his parents and was also going to keep it quiet, all silently without the kids noticing. Sora and Akamaru soon joined the fray, leaving the bewildered adults gawking. An hour later. Thanks for watching.